Super Soul Sunday. Happy Sunday to each and every one of you. I'm so thankful. Today is Thanksgiving Day in my household, and we are thankful to be alive from January to today. And so we are coming your way to share with you some educational stuff. And with me is Mr. Prince Baffour, FCCA. He's the CEO of Baffour and Associates here in the UK. I also have Pastors Peter and Julie. Well, how do you pronounce the surname? Oyebobola.
We will sue you for that. Oyebobola.
Oyebobola.
That's
it. You try.
Oyebobola. Yes. Thank you, of ICCC, and they are also marriage counselors, and they also educate us on insurance policies. So today we are not going into church, but we're going into church educating people on finance and life insurance. Welcome, my amazing guests.
Thank you for having us. It's a pleasure being on your program, on your show again. We do not take it for granted from the bottom of our heart. We say a big thank you.
Thank you very much. So, first of all, Pastors Peter and Julie, what's the full name for ICCC?
It stands for International Christian Celebration Center.
International Christian
Celebration Center.
Oh, Celebration Center. Oh, okay. But I think the last time I did not ask, so it's good for me to ask. So because I go to ICC, so I'm like, okay, they took another C and put it on the ICC. So, and Mr. Prince, where are you dialing from? I know you're in the UK. Where in the UK are you?
So I'm from back in East London.
Oh, okay. Okay, welcome. So today, let's dive in. So tell me more about what you do, Prince. I know you're a chartered accountant, but tell us more so that our viewers would know.
Sure. So I'm chartered accountant. I've been practicing accountancy for over 15 years. Mainly what I do is I do bookkeeping, so prepare the accounts for businesses, for individuals. I file their tax returns. I also do it for churches, gift aid claims, and I also do provide financial advice. So help people do their budgeting, their financial planning, give them advice on investment, So effectively, anything to do with accountancy, tax, finance, investment, even abuse people salary for mortgage applications as well. So anything financial, effectively. That's what I do.
Oh, wow. Fantastic. Yeah. Thank you. And my wonderful Pastor Julie and Peter, I know that you are pastors and marriage counselors, but you're also in the insurance business. So tell us more about it.
We're actually financial advisor and also family protection specialist. That's our job. And part of what we do is to make sure that every individual is rightfully covered. And we represent a lot of insurance company as long as they are FCA registered, which is Financial Conduct Authority. And what we do is we help family to make sure that they have understanding of the policy in which they apply for. Because a lot of people apply for policy and they have the policy with them, but they don't know what the policy is all about. And sometimes when people, they're not rightly informed, what is in their end sometimes is life insurance, but they think they have investment, and which is one of the greatest problem. And that's where we come in. We give advice and we make a representation to the rightful insurance company because every individual needs are quite different. So that's what we do.
Okay, so apart from that, also you cover, apart from the life insurance, you cover critical illness,
all insurance apart from car. Apart from car insurance, every insurance apart from car.
Apart from
liability
car.
insurance, indemnity insurance, income protection, funeral cover, whatever, any insurance,
private
medical insurance, any insurance apart from car. That's the
Apart
only
from
thing we
car.
do.
Okay,
That's right.
fantastic. Thank you. So Baffour, let's talk about, we're going to talk about our independent finances or financial independence. You know, most of us travel outside our countries to come to the other side of the world to make money and take back home or to better our lives. But the most not talked about is money. Even though we are working for money, we don't know how to save our money. We misuse our money. Please educate us on it.
Yeah, so I think the first thing I would say is you look at people who are wealthy and rich and you emulate them. So these are for what I'm going to say is mainly for people who want to live beyond normal. Because what I realize is a lot of us, well, we living as normal people, which is you find a job, you go and work, you make money, and then you're thinking of working to retirement, right? Now, the bad thing about that is it's not guaranteed because one, you're depending on someone or a corporation for your income. Now, with technology, with changes, etc., including COVID, we know it's not like 30 years ago where a job is guaranteed for life. So what this is about is first, before you even go into job or at whatever level you are at the moment, think of what to do to be financially independent, which means at any point in time, you can decide not to do what you currently do, as in work for someone and rely on your own investment to be able to survive, or rely on your own business skill to be able to survive. Because I think often enough, because of the kind of idea, which now, because of the internet, technology, and everything, let's be honest, it's all archaic. You know, we've gone past this idea. Let me get a job and work and save pension, and then I'm okay. Now, what you need to do is, how can I be an income generating person for myself and for my family, right? So I'll break it down. You start with planning and strategizing. Now, the key fundamentals, and this one, as an accountant, we know it, but it's for everyone to also understand it. You have your assets and your liabilities. You have your expenses and your income. Now, the key is build your assets, reduce your liabilities. Build your income, reduce your expenses. And then as your income grows, you convert that to assets. And that's what the rich people do. So they start by creating a platform, Facebook. They make a lot of money, then they use that money, and it's what we call money working for itself, to generate assets. Those assets generate money to the extent that I believe, for example, Mark Zuckerberg,
The
I think
creator of Facebook.
the best one is Bill Gates, right? Bill Gates has been working for Microsoft for over 10 years, but he's still top 2 billionaire in the world. You ask, he's not working, but you know what I'm saying? His money is more than everyone else, right? So and that's the key. So what I'm saying is now what we need to teach ourselves and our kids is whatever you're doing, first objective is to be financially independent. Now choose a path on that where you build your income. Building your income could be retraining, building yourself, providing a service, looking for opportunities, adding value. And then as you build those income, look at what assets you can invest in property, in stock shares. People got different income, like yourself, Nana. We've written a book. That is intellectual property. That forever will generate you income, and even your kids will benefit from it, right? So this is about thinking outside the box, right? I'm a typical accountant. After so many years, I thought, let's start thinking outside the box, right? I'm not going to tell you, manage your budget. Look at this. I think the key is focus on generating more income, focus on building assets. The other two, the liabilities, you reduce them. And I think one key thing that I would use as an example, because people forget, you see, when you buy a house, there are two aspects to it. There's an asset and a liability. Now, if you go for a mortgage, which is too big, you are creating a big liability for yourself. Some people are not sustained paying it, they might lose their job, etc. Things go against them and they end up in debt, right? Whereas it's a car, you go for a big car loan and it's a liability and it's draining you, right? So what I'm trying to say is forever financial decision that you make, think about, am I building my assets or am I building my income? Don't necessarily go for something big and for whatever reason you end up losing. So your assets go down because the liability is so big. You know, the liability itself, it can suck your income. Because, for example, if you go for a big house, massive, and your mortgage per month is so much. So instead of you saving your income, you're spending it all on your house, repairs, maintenance, etc. And that's where we tend to make the mistake. So key is, as I've keep repeating, look at the financial independence and the best way to make it happen. And with COVID, I think people see it as, oh, you know, things are hard. But I think it's just, yeah, people see it as a problem, but we should start seeing it as an opportunity. Because what's happened with COVID is things have changed. And I'll be honest, if before COVID we weren't making it, now is the time to make it because, you know, we're not losing. It's just to retune our mind, advantage of the opportunity. And the key opportunity is people have learned to be proper independent now, working from home. You know, you save a lot of time on commuting, you save a lot of time on other things. Everything is now on the internet, right?
That's right. That's right.
People are building different things, YouTube channels, Facebook. People are selling online, and the internet itself is a big marketplace.
That's
so
right.
you find your strength, your passion, and you find a way to commercialize it, move it into the new world with technology, and then maximize your income. But as you make those income, invest in assets that
That's right.
make you financially independent. And I think that's the key message.
That's
okay. Thank you. I'm back. My camera my camera just decided to freeze. Oh, like when you're doing a live show, that's what happens all the time.
Yeah.
When you're doing a live show, but
Between the television.
I'm back on. It's unbelievable. But
You're welcome back.
welcome back. I know. I'm trying to get everything to come come on. Oh dear Lord, help us. Right. So well, I hope everyone can see me now. So Pastor Julian, Pastor Peter, Baffour Prince did mention about insurance, mortgage, and you also specialize in insurance for our mortgages. So tell us more about it because maybe there are a lot of people out there who want to go out there and buy stuff for themselves and buy a house for themselves, but they don't know what to do. Talk to us about it.
Right. Basically, just like our wonderful brother rightly said, because of the assets and the liability. Now that's where the insurance comes in. Although it's very good to be wise to know the decision in which you might have taken in buying a house. But one thing the insurance company will do is that the insurance will actually back you up if you have bought your house and then you insure it. Then in the case of financial difficulties, and that's when insurance comes in. Now, having said that, there are portfolios. For instance, if somebody is having a mortgage, but part of what we do as an advisor is that we will sit down with the person and then we actually make assessment. We make personal consultation. We want to find out if the person is working, which we know yes. And we want to make sure that at least, okay, if he's working, then we can do a lot of things, not just life insurance. So we insure the life, because life insurance simply means if the policyholder died, then the life insurance would pay off the debt or the mortgage that is attached to that policyholder. So we will encourage the person to do life insurance, and not just life insurance. We'll also ask the person to take on what we call critical illness cover, because sometimes some people, they can be working and at the same time critical illness will creep in, and that actually will disable the person from the type of job in order to pay off the to continue paying the mortgage. So we will encourage that person, and then apart from that, we can also tell the other person to that's the person taking the mortgage, to actually take what we call income support. Income protection rather. So the income protection is very important, because if the person should lose his or her job, then the income protection will kick in by paying at least 65% of the salary if the person is employed. But if he's self-employed, then the person needs what we call living costs. So which will generate at least 1,500 to make sure that when that person is in distress, then if he cannot continue, then the insurance will help the person to continue. So, and also apart from that, we have what we call building insurance. So in case if anything damage in the same house, where the insurance can also come in to repair, so that at least the person will not go into too much of expenses. Then apart from that, we have what we call content insurance. So the content insurance is to make sure if anything go wrong in the house, like stolen or like damage, then insurance also comes in. Now, most time people think, oh, these things will be too much expensive for me.
Of course, I was going to say that.
Yeah, the truth of the matter is that insurance doesn't have to be too much expensive. It depends on how we arrange the package. That's where we come in. Because some people will put much effort in doing life insurance, they push much money. But whereby the much money they push on life insurance, they don't even need it. It's more or less like a gambling. So why are you playing gambling when we can also help you to reshuffle your life? That's why Unisure is what we work with. It's one of the best advisor in the whole UK for now. We took over from Barclays Bank because we realized that a lot of brokers, don't get me wrong, I mean, everybody is broker when it comes to the field. But a lot of brokers, what they do is that they put one effort in one portfolio, forgetting that we need to balance the rest. It pains my heart that sometimes some people say, no, I only need life insurance. I do not need income protection. Just like what Prince said, they do not balance their life. They live unbalanced life. Some people, because they have their money right now, they don't know what they are getting involved with, be a liability. And that is where the insurance company comes in. So insurance company will help to make sure that at least they patch the back and make sure that the person is rightfully protected when it comes to danger. For instance, you just buy a house and two of you as husband and wife, you bought the house and one died. Then what happened? Can the income continue?
Yes.
Which is not possible. And that's where we advisor will come in. But most time people don't come through advisor. They prefer to go directly to the insurance company. And what they just want to buy is policy. So they buy the policy and to them, they are happy that they got a policy, but the policy is not balanced. And that's where we come in as a personal advisor. And for your information, we do not charge nobody for advising.
I think people often thought they're going to pay when they're going to pay to advise, insurance advice.
Yes. So we don't ask them to pay. The insurance company will pay us when we might have referred the rightful insurance cover to individual. Having said that, just like Prince said, in the days, our company used to charge like £2,000 for 1 hour for consultation. But the CEO of the company realized that, oh, come here. Only the millionaires are coming here, but the people like us who needed insurance, they're not coming.
The rich people like us.
Amen. I like that. So that's why it trained us personally to be able to go back to our community and then to sit with individual. It is free of charge. Some people got life insurance, for instance, and they have building, but the life insurance they are paying is actually outdated. So we can help them to review and then to give them advice. And one thing we say to people is that we advise them. It's not depending on them for them to take whatever. So we call ourselves fix the pipe
before the
water bursts.
Wow. I mean, and is also adding values to our life. Thank you so much for this in-depth. Most of the time I think this goes to all of you, and maybe Prince can answer. Most of the time when spouses or families, we don't really sit down to talk about finances. We know that, okay, we've got to work and pay the bills, and that's it, and then have the kids, and then the kids go off to uni, and that's it. Would you advise that as a family, or even maybe individuals, it is very important that from the one when the kids are born, for all of us to sit and say, okay, we're going to start saving for the family. We start. So this, I have 4 kids, so let's start saving for each and every one of them. So say when they're about 18, 20, or whatever age they can also be financially secured, because we don't tend to do that especially in our community, some communities. So what would you say, Prince?
So what I would say is excellent, but let's start from the fact that financial planning should be everyone at whatever stage in life. But ideally, you should start from courtship, before you get married. You should know what your financial goals are. You should discuss all that. But obviously, once you are married, you discuss the number of kids and everything. One thing I would say is definitely plan, but you need to have what we call a short-term goal, a medium-term, and a long-term. Now, short-term is usually a year and a half to 2. Medium-term, 3 to 5 years, and long-term, over 5 years. So definitely, because what you're going to do is, it's as simple as usually what you think is the life that you didn't get, you try and give it to your children.
That's right.
Hence, a lot of the things that our parents didn't do or we didn't do, let's give that to our children. And definitely, financial planning wasn't one of the stuff that our parents did, right? So it's very, very essential to do that. And in planning those things, short term, it could be stuff that you buy for the kid around the house. One of them could even be, you need to get a bigger house. So mortgage, what kind of income, etc. Do I need to get this money for this type of house, right? All of that. But also you go into medium term where you think, what kind of education do I want to give my kids? Now, I've already kind of demystified the fact that let's forget about saying, oh, my kid is going to study, go and find work and be successful. Forget that. Wherever your kid is, look at their talent, build on it, but most importantly, have a plan for them to be financially independent. If they are academic and you can invest in their education, and to be honest, it's expensive having a private education, but if you plan well with insurance sometimes and investment, you'll be able to afford it. And depending on the kids' talent, there are some of our kids definitely will be going to Oxford, Cambridge, will be doing investment banking, all the top jobs. Will be
or even them getting scholarships.
Yeah, absolutely. But it all starts with a plan, because if you didn't have the plan, then you don't know where you're going. Because with the plan, you can research and you can find, oh, there are these schools based on my income, they will get scholarship. There are these schools that I can put them through, and you will not have to live there at the mercy of the public secondary education. Because to be honest, we all know that a lot of our Black kids suffer under those systems. And, it's time we be honest with ourselves. So planning is definitely important. it will change our kids' life, and it will give us happy retirement as well. Because obviously, without them having a better life, you can't enjoy your retirement. So it's absolutely essential. So do the short term, do the medium term based on their education, based on their strength, looking at their talent and investing in their talent. I think that's the most important thing. Invest in their talent, and it takes planning and putting resources together to be able to do that.
Fantastic. Before Pastor Peter, maybe you chip in. I just dropped. As Baffour said, if we invest in our kids and they get good education or the planning and management of it, then we wouldn't be, and we plan our lives ourselves. We wouldn't be bothering our children when we are old. And that's one thing that today I want us all to take and educate ourselves, and even though we might be in our mid age or whatever age you are, you plan, because the Bible also says that and we leave a great wealth for our children's children. But sometimes it's we the mothers or the fathers bothering the kids. I'm not saying it's bad, send me money, or it's good to be a blessing to your parents. No argument about that. But if it's beautiful if we plan well. Most of us, if our parents have really invested in us in financially, maybe they give us the wisdom and all that, we could have had a more better life. So as parents, as we are sharing this evening, if you're a parent, please take some advice and sit and plan for your children, so that when you're growing, it's not going to be a burden on you, and also on whether it's the government or whoever it is. Pastor Julie, yes.
That's right.
Pastor Julie, you wanted to say something. Pastor Julie, can you hear me? It looks like Pastor Julie can hear me. Pastor Julie?
Yeah, I just want to add this one to read that as a parent, can you hear me? The sound is not balanced.
Yeah, I think it's the internet.
The internet.
Yeah, I can hear you. Yeah, I can hear you.
Yes. I just want to add this one to read that in the church, we normally advise the couple. You can hear me now, yeah?
Yes, I can, yes.
We usually advise the couple during their baby christening that thank God we're living in this part of the world. The money that the government gives to the children, which they are child benefit, we always advise the parent not to spend the money, keep the money and save it towards their education, save it towards their future. That take example, if you are living in the country, you are illegal in the country, you don't have the entitlement to that money. Take it like that. Are you still not going to take care of your children? Definitely we will take care of our children. So we advise the parents in our church that don't touch the children benefit money, save it towards their future. And some of them, they are doing it, and we can see that truly they are doing that, keeping it for their children, for their future purpose.
Wow, that is great. It's very, very important. Well, the other thing is self-discipline. How do we discipline ourselves in money, in our money, Baffour? Because you're working, you want to buy stuff for yourself, but then one of the financial wisdom that I know that it's very, very important that we discipline ourselves when it comes to money.
Yeah. So we start. The key is you don't spend more than you earn, right? And that goes for all forms of plastics, right? So if you spend it on credit cards, it's still part of your expenditure. You have to be wary of it. But then you start to budget and say, okay, these are my monthly bills, effectively. This is how much is coming in. This is how much I can spend. Part of what is coming in, you have to put it aside for savings, and then ultimately for investment. So you have to have those goals, right? And have those budget. Also, I recommend people to go through their bank statements. I know it's not like before, everything is online now. But I still go through my bank statements, even though I know everything that's come out. When the statement drops in the post, it's good to still go through it, because then you kind of it's like taking a back seat and looking at how your life was for the period, right? You could then be able to make better decisions for future. You know, you could see a few expenditure here and there. Oh, maybe it wasn't really necessary. It was just to boost my mood or something. You know, it didn't really. It didn't really add any value. Maybe I went to this place and ended up spending stuff on impulse. Next time, I'll be able to manage it better. So definitely budget. Definitely watch your expenditure. But I also want us also to focus, as I said before, that we should look at our streams of income. Now, the people who've, a lot of people who've made it and, are wealthy, they'll say have at least 5 streams of income.
5?
Yeah.
Oh.
I'm not saying, 5 streams of income, right? Now, how do you go about that? You perfect your passion, you perfect your talent, then you look for opportunities on where you can offer value to people. And by doing that, people will start to acknowledge it and people will be willing to pay for it. If they are not, find a way to commercialize it, right? But don't be satisfied with just 1 or 2, because just like your insurance, our pastors will say, nothing is certain. So if one of your income streams starts to fade away, then you can rely on the other ones, right? Yes. And as I said, nothing is perfect, but there are different cycles in the world. Sometimes one thing will be doing great, another time it won't be doing so great. So that's why I'm saying 5 streams of income, because look at COVID. Anyone with 5 streams of income, I'm sure they'll have 1 or 2 that they can still be benefiting from. Unlike people who were stuck with just 1 or 2. Now they'll be in trouble, right? So the key is, it doesn't mean just today, just get 5 streams. It just means don't be just satisfied with 1 or 2.
Comfortable,
That's it. Don't be comfortable. That's the word. Build on other ones. And once you have that goal and you look at what you can offer, the value you can give to people, you commercialize it. With time, you'll be able to build those ones, such that at no point in your life would you be found wanting. So that's very necessary.
Fantastic. Wow. Pastor Julie, he's really touched on some great points, and still insurance coming, because we, especially now that we are on in this COVID-19 thing, and people, so it means that people who had insurance, maybe living, maybe income to protect, insurance to protect their income, and they've been laid off, would the insurance cover something like that?
We have 3 types of income protection. It's called ASU. So ASU. So the A stand for accident, the S stand for sickness, and then the U stand for unemployment.
Okay.
So it depends. Though it's good to take the 3 together. If you take the 3 together, then it can help you out along the line. If the person is having an accident, the insurance can pay. If they are sick, insurance can pay. And if they also have, if they are made redundant, then the insurance can pay. But unfortunately, a lot of people don't take such kind of insurance. They have income protection, but their income protection is only if they are sick. Does not even involve accident. So that's the only insurance they have. So that's why they need to sit down.
Because we pray. So we know that God will protect us. So we don't want any accident business. You see, it's all in our mind.
Exactly.
But when it comes to our car, we didn't say, "Oh, God is protecting me. I won't take insurance, car insurance."
It's actually ignorance in our community, because possibly maybe we still have this mindset of the Africans when we used to be in Africa, whereby there's no regulation. So because of that, everybody is thinking, oh, insurance company are dubious. If you have insurance, they won't pay you. Although they are right, but they are wrong. How did I mean? when you do not have a proper insurance, and you only, because your friend took one insurance and referred you to one broker, you also you take the same policy, but your case is not the same. For instance, somebody in this COVID-19, somebody was in Nigeria, and the person called me and said, "Oh, I'm stranded in Nigeria. Can I make a claim?" And I asked, "What is your policy?" You did life insurance. Life insurance don't pay you until you die. Yeah. So if you are not dead, life insurance will not pay. But exactly. So the ignorance is the biggest of all the challenges. So the truth of the matter is that if the Bible says my people perish for lack of knowledge.
Yeah.
If Baffour has sometimes, we call some people because they've gotten insurance policy just like me. That's what led me to this job. One of my new regional directors is on the line with us.
Yeah.
I was having a program, and in that program, it's called BMF, Business, Mindset, and Finance. That's what we do. So then in that program, then the gentleman came just to be able to make an awareness. And my wife was the only one that hasn't got insurance then, because she believed that only somebody, if you want to die, that's when you take life insurance. So I took mine 23 years ago, and I said this to a lot of people. Yeah, if you really love your family, the biggest of all you can do for them is to be insured. But if you are insuring yourself, you must be insured rightfully. What I did 23 years ago was the wrong one. It was based on circumstances of then. So, but my circumstances has changed now. So in that case, when the gentleman came to my house to do my wife policy, he wanted to do mine. I rejected him, because I'm a mindset specialist. So I thought this guy just want to sell me a product, and I'm not ready to listen. But thank God for his wisdom, which he used on me. He said, "Pastor Peter, you taught me something that nobody has ever done to me. But one of the things you taught us is that we must be a good listener if we want to progress in life. But yourself who taught us to be a good listener, you are not listening." That's how it got me. And then, and then finally, I decided for him to check the policy for me, only for him now to let me know that on the wrong policy. And I had to change, and that actually was what encouraged us to join the company.
We now thought to ourselves that a lot of ignorant people
on the field,
on the field,
like myself.
what he did. So that's why we need to help our community. That's why we came in to join this company.
The company.
Yes.
So, like I said, it's very, very important to make sure that at least the policy you have is the rightful one for the rightful season. And every insurance policy has its own different flavor. So which you need an advisor like us to sit you down. I say this to a lot of people, even if you are a solicitor, you may not understand what the policy you have, because insurance use term, they use term. And the term is what a layman, or even if you are a professional, you may not understand. But that's where we come in as Unisure. And that's what we train for, and that's our specialization. So we can help people to understand the term, and we can advise them before the actual incident occurs. And that's part of what we do.
Very, very educational. It's very important that we take insurance. It's, as you said, it's all about the mindset and understanding. That's why we're having this conversation, because I remember once upon a time when somebody talked about life insurance, I'm like, I'm not going to die now. The Bible says, I will live to declare the
glory of God,
the Lord in the land of the living. So hey, but then forgetting that one day we all know that we will pass on, but then the one that we're going to leave behind. And last year we saw a lot of is it crowdfunding regards to people who have passed, and family were crowdfunding so that we could, especially those who want to take the bodies home and things like that. And that really got me thinking. But we have our life, Paul, my husband and I, we've insured, and I've been telling some people about it till Pastor Julie and we had that conversation, and I said, what, you have to come and educate more of us. And obviously Baffour being a financial advisor too, it's good to have people like this in your circle so that they can advise you, because most of the time, yes, we're doing our 9 to 5, but people reach out for us to do these multi-marketing level businesses, and we are like, oh, please, we don't know. Oh, no, 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 because but it's very important. Of course, you have to know the right one, and as Baffour said, have the passion for it. It's not like you see everybody. One thing that we do is that when one person is doing it, we all jump in without asking, or without, because you say, oh, Nana, business being I was going to speak my language. Business being has there's this business adventure, you don't, all you have to do is to sign up, and you'll be making money, and then all of us will jump in, just to find out that it takes time. It's a process. Baffour's advice is have some multiple streams of income, but you've got to research, you've got to talk to the right people so that they can advise you, so that when you are investing your money, exactly where your money is going. But Baffour, I want to come to there is this thing called susu. Susu as well.
We do. Right, every month.
Every month. Baffour, what's your take on that? How would what are the wrongs and the rights in susu?
Yeah, I think susu is effectively saving.
Okay.
Saving is good. There are people who need some form of discipline and a structure to be able to do those savings. So they put themselves in it. Obviously, it's the same as I would advise any business. Understand who you are dealing with, the financial controls. Now, what I would say to people who listen is, if you're not that well endowed financially, you need to have someone that you speak to give you advice and guidance. Yeah. Typically an accountant or a financial advisor, because even for us, even for me, I have people that I speak to who challenge me more. There's what we call the blind spot. So you might get carried away and say, oh, let's do this, let's do this. By the time you realize somebody takes your money and they are gone forever, right? You can't get all you can with your money. Yeah. And it's because as an accountant, I wouldn't just go and put my money in. I'll look for what we call financial controls. So effectively, I'll look at what happens if the person takes my money away. How am I going to retrieve it? It's just like buying a property, right? You won't just give your money away. You make sure that your name is on the title deeds. You have a land title. You have something to claim. If you are entering a business, you have a contract. You can sue the person in a civil court and you retrieve your money. If someone rents your property, you make sure you have all the proper agreements, so that if the person is not paying you rent, you can take them to court, evict them. Same, I will advise. If the susu, based on what we know now, is not having those controls, best is not to go into it. Because in our community, we trust our own people so much that effectively we get disappointed. I'll be honest with you, times have changed. This is post-COVID. We don't play with money, right? There's not enough money out there. I'll be honest with you. Before you part with your money, make sure you know where it's going, right? And how you get it back. That is more relevant today than it's ever been. Yeah.
Yes.
Even in registered license stuff, sometimes they come on TV, they'll advertise this and that. Even approved investment advisors who work in the city. You remember Benny Madoff in America? He made those pensions, right? So when it comes to putting your money anywhere, I would say what we call due diligence. If you can't do it yourself, get advice, right? People big money, and to pay for advice for like 1% of the money, to be able to make the right decision, they won't do it. They end up putting all their life investment somewhere and it disappears. So make sure you get advice. Very critical, very important. Let someone look into it. Let someone research it for you before you take the leap. Because trust me, especially in these times, unfortunately, there are people looking to take people's money away. It's sad, but that's the reality.
True.
Wow. Wow. Good advice. Mr. Peter, so yeah, your insurance company also provide private medical insurance and funeral cover. Could you
That's right.
talk us through that as well?
Yeah, private medical insurance kick in where the NHS could not be able to go.
Okay.
Because one thing people do not understand is that we practice the same thing, just like Prince can, because we are more or less like in the same cycle.
Yeah.
We have
Yeah.
something we call non-disclosure. For instance, the confidentiality of what I discuss with you, I cannot discuss with nobody. So it's
Yeah.
called non-disclosure. If I do insurance policy for you, by the law of FCA, I'm not allowed to tell your husband.
Yeah.
So the same thing is in medical field. There's what we call non-disclosure in the doctor or something. So majority of people, when they're supposed to have received a full protection medical cares, because of the lack of funding in NHS is limited to some amount of money they can offer individual. So that's where the private medical insurance kick in. So the private insurance insurance will allow you to see a private doctor, and you can also be able to be treated according to how it's supposed to be. Because the NHS, they can give people like 3 treatments, and they will say go home and start using paracetamol.
Okay.
Because they won't tell you the money they offer us is not enough. They're not allowed. So, but private medical, that will enable the person to see the best doctor.
And as well, if you have the one that cover you worldwide,
comprehensive.
if you travel abroad, God forbid anything happen, you'll be able to see any doctor, any private doctor abroad. It's very good if somebody can avoid it.
Yes.
I will always say to people, if God has blessed you, you have a good income, have what we call private medical insurance for your family.
It's very important.
Especially this day, our NHS, they try, but they cannot do enough for us. So we need that.
Exactly. Then the funeral plan is also very advisable. I say this to a lot of people, just like you rightly said, Sister Nana. The truth is our community, we're very ignorant. When you're talking like you rightly said, people say, Jesus is my insurance. I mean, we are pastor, for God's sake.
I say that.
But Jesus is not our insurance. Jesus is not our insurance. Jesus is our assurance. There's a difference between the two. Jesus is not our insurance. Insurance company is our insurance. But Jesus is our assurance. In another word, when we died, when we go to heaven, that's the promise. It's an assurance. He assures us with long life will be satisfied. But the truth we have to know is that even Jesus himself died at the age of 30-something years. So for the fact that the Christian is over 35, it should be by his grace. So the truth of the matter is that insurance, funeral cover, will help someone to prepare should in case when the person dies. So it does not mean the person want to die now. If a funeral cover is taken when the person is still younger, it's more cheaper than when the person died and everybody is now running up and down to look for the funeral arrangement. Because it's very expensive when somebody died and you now start running up and down to go and buy all these things. It's a lot of stress. But whereby if someone have done live, a funeral cover, the funeral cover can be paid off at once, or you can spread the payment till 14, 15 years. Or even if, you can pay the funeral till up to 25 years. So if the funeral is being paid earlier, it's more cheaper. And then at the same time, it's more beneficial because you don't want to die and put your family in stress. I don't want to die and put my wife in stress. I want to make sure that in case if God said, Pastor Peter, you are okay today, come home, then let my wife live a better life. Let life insurance take care, pay off my debt, let the funeral cover, plan, let you do all the job. And that's where the funeral cover comes in. So you can actually take your funeral cover at any age, but that does not mean you're going to die. It
You
does,
know,
just like
and we come back to the mindset thing again, because you talk about funeral and death, and it makes people unease. You know, that's the word most people don't want to hear. And but then it's the truth as well, that we don't want to put people, you don't want to put your family in stress. And I see that, especially here, you see on the on they do advertise a lot, and then you see that the white people do it a lot. I have some friends that their parents have passed on, and everything was catered for, to the extent that they even have more money to be shared among siblings, to
Yeah.
take care of. And one thing that I did not know, that even here, when you were buried, you still pay for the land that you
Yes.
buried in. You still pay for. Baffour, did you know? I didn't. I had
Yeah.
no idea about that. But then everything is covered for. You see,
Yeah.
so it's very important that we have this discussion sometimes. As families, as pastors, that I know that we don't want to. You don't want your members to die. We don't want to. We want to live and enjoy the fruit of our labor, and enjoy our
Sister Nana,
children's children, and grow
yeah.
old and healthy. But then, yes, we have to talk about it.
Sister Nana, if I can ship in, can I be honest with you?
Yes.
Now, to be honest, no business want to lose.
Yes.
So for those who want to do life insurance, do you know they are praying that we should not die? Because if people die, they will pay out much money. So the same thing, the one that has a funeral also praying that nobody died, because it will cost them a lot.
So then, from what we have, then it means that one has to have a lot of insurances. Is that right?
When we say a lot of insurances, just like what Prince says, the truth of the matter is people are afraid because they only depend on one income.
Yeah.
And that's why we have a lot of poverty in our community. Everything in life, you needed insurance. To be a Christian is an assurance. So even to marry, you need insurance. Your wife wants to know, can you look after me financially? I mean, look at this woman here. She's always very happy with me. You know the reason why? Because I am the insurance.
You have the insurance.
I'm well covered. That's so funny, Pastor.
To make it much simpler, one thing we say is that contact us. We will sit you down.
Yes.
We know what is your most fearful things, and that's where, just like a prince said, that is where the advisor comes in. We're not asking you to pay 10 billion pounds for insurance company. Even if it is £1, we will help you to organize, but have something in place, because it takes a wise man to prepare for future. But the foolish one want to eat the bread right now, and live with nothing for tomorrow. So the insurance is not as if somebody have to do 2,000. When you sit with us, we take you through. We are financial advisor as well. We want to know how much you earn. We want to know where you spend your money on, and then we can be able to advise you based on the rightful insurance policy for you. It could be £1 insurance policy, but at least that will be guaranteed that something is washing your back. So it doesn't mean that because we mentioned all this insurance, you need to get all of them. No, you don't have to get all of them. But we will advise you on the best one, because sometimes some people have insurance, but the insurance they have is just a gambling insurance. Gambling. They will never claim that money if they die.
Great. So at least we know well. So where can you be found? Where can we contact you?
Basically, our telephone number still remain 07961 193 137. But should in case, you can log into our Facebook, and then you can see Peter Praisetek. Praisetek, most of the thing we do is also on it as well. Or you can also
Pastor Julie
Praisetek.
Fantastic. Thank you so much.
Nana Shosha, and then you get our number.
Yeah, and then I get my commission for that. So Prince, and You as well. You really taught us a lot today, and how we really going to invest in ourselves, in the family, and as I said, if we all grown, but then the kids, we can do something with the kids. When we look at the Asian families, I mean, you see, 15-year-old, 20-year-old, they have properties, they have a property portfolio, they have shops. Why can't we, our community, also do that? We can really teach our children and invest in them. If we haven't done it, we still have time, we're still alive and well. But then, if we're able to really, as Prince said, identify the gift of our children and really, really invest in it and invest in them, we're going to have a generation of worthy African kids in this country and the world beyond. But Prince, you also help businesses, and there's so many businesses, so many people in the UK, and maybe, well, because we are here, let's focus here, who haven't registered their companies and are missing out because, like, this COVID, they were giving a lot of self-employed people,
Imagine that.
aids and grants, but a lot of people missed out. So what would you tell us
Yeah.
to do?
So, well, as I said, 5 streams of income. You need to formalize it as well. So first, you might be doing a business, register it. Register your company, set up a business bank account. Even if you're a sole trader, have a business bank account. It should be separate from your personal finances. Based on that, once it's formalized, and if you need help, I'll be able to do that for you. Then you can have a running business. You start small and you grow it. So case in point is, if you had set up a business before March, before COVID hit, and had a business bank account, then when COVID hit, you'll be entitled to the bounce back loan. You'll be entitled to, there was a bigger package as well, for businesses who needed bigger money other than the £50,000. And there are people whose business weren't doing so well, but they were able to still access the bounce back loan, and it's helped a lot. And it's even helped them focus, right? Because one thing about money is fuel. You get money, you have plans, you'll be able to fuel your plans and make it happen, right? So it's very critical that you formalize it and register your business and take the necessary steps. Now, what we also have to know is, because some people, they think, well, once you register a business, taxman is going to come after you and stuff. Beauty about a business and company is you pay all your expenses before you are taxed, unlike an individual. So key is, make sure you have records of your expenditure, and then come to me. I'll be able to do your accounts for you. It doesn't take much to do it. I don't charge much. Don't be scared. It's more about you being able to be in control of your business and your business finances. And it's very critical that you do that, because one thing that is, a business, what we call a business is either it grows or it dies. So if your business in your pocket, in court, it might die. By formalizing and registering it, doing your self-assessment, your HMRC returns, you can see some growth and you can build on it. We know people who've had their business in their pockets and they've either lost interest, died with it, fortunately, and it's gone. Some people were doing well a few years ago, now you can't find it. So, but get advice and grow it and build it for the future. And it's not just for you and your kids as well.
Fantastic. I am so grateful that all of you make time to come and share your wisdom with us. There's a saying that it takes money to make money, and when you're disciplined with your money, then you are attractive. But if you spend it anyhow, and I'm thankful that I have people like you around me that I can learn and continue to learn. And I hope that everybody that tuned in tonight have taken something, and if we apply it, the most important is the application, the action. We can have so much information, but if we don't apply it, then of course we don't grow. So I hope that everyone that has tuned in, everyone that has watched on YouTube and also shared, is going to really take action so that they will have that financial freedom and independence, and also the knowledge on insurance, that we all will have a wonderful, happy life and not put stress on our spouses, our families, and our children. Thank you so much. Baffour, where can we find you?
Yeah, so I have Baffour and Associates on Facebook. All the details are there, but my number is 07930272809. So call me for accountancy, tax, financial advice, and I'll be very happy to help you.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Enjoy your evening, and I wish
Thank
you
you.
both a fantastic and fruitful week as well. Thank you.
Thank
And
you. Thank you for having us. God bless
Thank
you.
you so
God
much.
bless
God bless you. Thank you.
It's been a pleasure.
So, to everyone who joined, I hope you have learned something tonight, and hopefully you will apply it to your life. Have a wonderful, fruitful week, and always remember you belong at the top. Bye bye.